called Groceries old-fashioned. He called groceries old-fashioned. He's like, groceries are so old-fashioned. It's such an old-fashioned word. Groceries in a bag. You put the foods in the bag. I don't have a clip because it literally just happened. I just needed to put that out there. He called groceries old-fashioned. That's who you think is helping you as a normal, everyday American? The guy who is so out of touch, he thinks groceries are old-fashioned? What? Oh my God. Anyway, I watched for less than a minute. That's all I could muster. I popped in. He said the thing about groceries. I hit record. I missed it, but I got the next 45 seconds of absolute nonsense. Here's the fact check.
Groceries are down. Gasoline is way under $3, and people are beginning to be able to buy things and live again. We brought prices way down.
It's quite unclear what he means by that, unless he's claiming that we're suddenly experiencing deflation. Yeah, that's bad. That would mean our economy is in free fall, which, I mean, we're teetering on it, but whatever. Inflation, for the most part, is measured year over year, so obviously it's difficult to measure his exact quantitative effect this early on. However, most organizations tracking it say that grocery prices are going up, and the data that we have so far says that CPI for all food increased about 0.2% from January to February. Again, it's March. We don't have much data yet, but predictions have them increasing by 3.2% this year, which is higher than the usual inflation target, by the way, which is around 2-point-something%. That's the goal.
And we created 10,000 already in a few weeks, new manufacturing jobs, and it was that took place in 1 month, numbers that they haven't seen in a long time.
Oh wow, 10,000 jobs. That's great. Good job. Kind of pathetic though, right? When you compare it to the 700,000 created by your predecessors, right? How do we know that the 10,000 aren't a result of the policies passed under them? Especially considering you have passed 0 new policy having to do with manufacturing or investment in manufacturing or anything. The 700,000 are coming from bills like the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the Inflation Reduction Act, CHIPS and Science Act. And that number, by the way, doesn't even finish counting the rest of 2024. But, good job. Good job on the 10,000, buddy. That'll definitely make up for the 245% surge in job cuts in February. That's a total of 172,000. But hey, 10K new ones in manufacturing. Good job, buddy.
We had virtually no inflation under my term. We had virtually no inflation for 4 years.
Okay, number one, having no inflation means your economy is defunct. Dude, that's bad. That's bad for all you people who don't understand that that's a bad thing. That's bad. If you have 0 inflation, that means that your economy, your consumer-based economy is not consuming. Okay? People are not spending money. Number 2, it's a lie. There was, in fact, inflation under him. This chart, by the way, is about the average year-over-year inflation, okay? It doesn't show the individual peaks and valleys, which brings me to the next thing he says.
But after transitioning over to Sleepy Joe, it went from almost non-existent to the highest in the history of our country. They're the highest inflation in the history of our country.
Another lie. First, let's look at the average. Biden sits right here. And again, we can talk about all the things that contributed to this that weren't his fault, but sure, let's blame it all on him. Still not true. But I know you're gonna say well, that's just the average, so. Okay, let's look at the top 10 highest annual inflation rates in US history. Note that absolutely 0 years under Biden even ranked. I believe his highest was around 9.7, 9.8. These are 10 times at least where it was higher than that. The poor guy couldn't even rank on this. So, we just making stuff up now? Obviously, you always have been. To the people who want to believe this unquestioningly, why? Why? Why are you so... Why? Groceries are old-fashioned.